What's up, everyone? CR2 here, bringing you the 87s at North Wilkesboro guide for this coming Monday. No guide for me for Daytona, and also won't be for Talladega, just because simply I suck at those. Just don't have the mindset for it. Never really been able to figure out how to stay up front without also not shredding my right front. So that's just not my wheelhouse. But nonetheless, very happy to bring you guys a short track week. Just really quick over the information: 68 degrees air temp, 80 degrees track temp, clear weather. A little bit of a weird thing. I don't really think I'm going to be able to show you guys. Come on. So you just go straight to test drive. Go to the 87 series tab, schedule, North Wilkesboro, and test drive. And this is now 3 straight times I've tried it. Maybe even 4. I might have messed with it at first to practice a little bit, where it's 70 degrees, 60, I don't even know what the heck that is, but mostly cloudy. So I haven't touched that. I've left that as is and just gone straight to drive, test drive, whatever it is down here. But you get into the session, and then it's clear weather, air temp still roughly the same, but since it's full sun, track temp is 80. If it was mostly cloudy at 70 degrees air temp, we probably have a track temp closer to 70 degrees, somewhere between 70 to maybe 74. So we're here with 80 degrees. Wind, I don't really think it's going to do anything. But anyway, really quick to my own preferred settings: 12 to 1, short track. I always run 12 to 1 anyway for 87s. +2, just so this way, in the straights, sure, your wheel is cranked like 15 degrees to the right, but then when you're in the turns, you're probably going to be like 50 degrees to the left. Not 50, gosh, like 5 to 10 degrees left. You're not way off left to where it's pretty uncomfy for 75% of the race. And then 50% brake bias. I've hovered from 52.4 to 49.2, just practicing, feeling what is comfy. So we'll just do 50 for sake of qualifying run. So let's go on in. Ignore that. That 19.49 is from last visit, where it was cloudy most of the time and track temp was like 67 degrees. So that's certainly going to change it up big time. But let's get on out here. There's a couple different lines that you can take for qualifying. We'll show you. Let me set that up really quick. The run up doesn't really matter a whole lot. Wait till you get to that white first union sign, turn on down, and get on the throttle. Be careful, because if you're too hard, it will slide. Brake at that white line. Get on low, kind of roll your center. Keep your exit straight. Careful, if you're too hard, you will spin it. Brake at that yellow sign to your right. Don't brake too hard to where you slide. And then again, be careful straightening out. And that's
19.751.
a 19.75. Since it's a short track, you might be able to get 2 laps of roughly your fastest possible time. Second lap will likely be slower. We're going to reset here in a minute, just kind of want to rabble on. Be careful here. It will slide if you're too hard on throttle coming out of the turn. For right here, you don't want to take your conventional line, because it kind of ruins your exit a little bit. So let's go on and reset. We'll show you the other line. So again, kind of set up your run up. Let's reset that. Apologies. Turn on down at the first union sign. Get on the throttle. And this is the alternate line. You're going to run it way up high. Turn on down late. And this gives you a straighter exit. See, I got on the throttle too soon and it pushes. It's very, very... Patience getting on throttle is important. You can carry a little more speed. It offers you a straighter exit onto the back straight uphill. And you see you gain that time back. Again, brake at the yellow sign. Be patient, wait till that curb kicks back in towards pit road. And you see, that's a 6.46, where with your kind of more traditional qualifying line, I was a tenth slower. So just kind of overview again. Turn on down at the first union sign.
20.
And you can brake so much later but carry your speed. Let's actually reset entirely. I'm still learning as I record this for you guys. Brake at that orange sign, try to carry as much speed as possible. Turn 3 and 4 is really difficult for me to hit consistently because you want to be as close as possible to that curb without touching it. And just to go over your more traditional, your lower line, I'll call it, for qualifying. Get your run up. Careful not to slide. And once you chip, hit the brakes. That's kind of how you can do this by sound. And of course, don't hit that grass, as that really upsets the car. So qualifying for this particular track in this car, I'm not very consistent, I must admit. So yeah, there's kind of your couple choices of lines for qualifying. That high line is, in my opinion, only good for qualifying. You do it in the race, you leave that whole low line open for somebody to just dive in and take the spot. So that might be good for very late race. So here we are, as if lap 1 kind of practice runs. Brake at that yellow sign, trail brake a little bit. Don't hit that curb. You see that? You hit that curb, it kind of pushes the car away. Pretty well like the curbs at Martinsville. So first lap of 20.1. You can push that further, of course, but this race is 100 laps, so you really don't want to have your tires done by lap 30 or so. Brake at that white sign. Should also say first union on it. And be patient getting back on throttle. I really should change that relative bar, or the comparison bar, to last lap. I always forget to do that.
20.235.
There we go. And then just try to get as close as possible. Wait till that curb jets in towards pit road to get back on the throttle.
20.405. .523.
This is very much a rhythm sort of track. Once you're on your rhythm and you kind of feel it really click in lap after lap, it's very, very fun.
421.
North Wilkesboro, I was kind of fearing it when I ran my first race for 87s. I think season 2 this year. I might be wrong. Maybe even been season 1. But I was just dreading it, and then just kind of did a little bit of practice. Got into the race, really got into the race rhythm, and I'm like, this is fun. This isn't a conventional short track, let alone conventional oval at all. You're uphill on the backstretch. You can use that a little bit to help your braking. Trail brake a little bit. But since you're going downhill into turn 1, you want to brake a little earlier. Brake at that white first union sign right after the finish line. Roll your center, be patient. And then kind of once you're straightening out for exit, get back on that throttle. No clue what lap we're on. I think lap 10 for this relative run.
20.591.
So because you're just kind of clicking off laps, this is a pretty well track position favorable race. It's difficult to pass. Just kind of find your spot, settle in, and wait for people to make mistakes. Wait for people to have their tires fall off. Especially on exits, if you're really too quick putting the throttle down, you're going to slide. And that's where, if people ahead of you do that, you can really capitalize, get a run, and get alongside them going into the next turn.
20.633.
Be patient, roll your center, get back on throttle, and you see just, I don't have to lift off, the car's not pushing at all. 3 and 4, for whatever reason, it's just a little more difficult for me to hit. I think it's just because I put too much focus on that curb.
20.69.
And turn 1 is really nice because you're really offered a wide range of what's comfy to you. 3 and 4 is a little more straightforward. You want to be almost Martinsville line, be close to that curb, don't touch it, wait till it juts in, towards pit road.
20.
And just for example, if you get on throttle too early, say right here, you're pushing out, I gotta get off throttle, there you go. And it's likely going to be the same thing for 3 and 4. So you say get on throttle right here. Not terribly, but I do find myself getting loose. You wanna wait until you're pointing a little bit straighter to get back on the throttle. Get back towards that curb. Wait, get back on it.
20.918.
For turn 1, I do like to set up a little bit higher just for the sake of having this straight exit onto the back straight. Be patient, roll your center, trail brake a little bit. Don't scrape the wall like I just did. Trail brake again. Get your setup nice and straight for onto the uphill straight. And you see this is just very much a rhythm track. Now this is the downside to North Wilkesboro and likely with many other tracks in the 87s. Just wild difference in braking points from say me, the person in front of me, the person behind me. You see I'm braking even at that opening in the wall. Whereas, and then say right here, brake at that first Union sign. But then the person behind me, they might be waiting until that mellow yellow sign to brake. And that's easily a solid probably 20 feet difference. Whereas on the front straight, they might be waiting until right there. So you think about that, there's high probability for some rear endings, for some spins to happen. And just that's where it makes this a pretty track position favorable race. You wanna be in front of the wrecks. If you're behind them, just hopefully you dodge them. I've been hit right here from behind just because difference in braking points from myself to the person behind me. So just don't mirror drive. Don't do that because then you're gonna miss your points. You just gotta trust the people behind you. You see I got a little loose on exit there. Still doing pretty consistent on the times, 20.7, and you just be patient. Patient getting on the throttle. If you're not feeling the car pushing against you as you're on the gas, you're doing it right. Get as close to that curb, don't touch it, wait right there, back on the throttle.
20.849.
I was a little concerned doing trail braking just because I thought that would put more heat and wear on the right front, but kind of initial practice run just to learn for this video. After 30 laps, I was 94 and 94 on the right sides. So I'm like, okay, that's not terrible. perhaps once we check this at say lap 50 or so, hopefully it's even, if perhaps even a little more wear on the right rear versus the right front. There is also another line you could do for turn 1. Brake at the same point, that first union sign, get turned down early, and you're kind of doing a diamond. Although as you can see, that's not a line that works for me. I've ran so many laps with the line you've seen me doing so far this video, and it's just, my brain is already way too hardwired for that line I'm used to. This line as well, I've practiced enough that I'm pretty well used to it. I can confidently run it. Let's actually do some comparison. So, kind of more conventional line. Not quite that diamond apex, although you certainly want a low exit. Alright, well that one is a wash. You don't want to hit that curve. You see just what it does.
20.985.
Don't hit that wall, of course. Let's actually do a little bit of a brake adjustment here.
21.216.
50% right now. Let's click that down to 48.4. And of course, this is your own preference. Go as low as comfy to you. You certainly don't want to slide going into the turn because it's very, very difficult to save it. That feels a little bit better. With that trail braking, you do want that brake bias as low as you can handle to help encourage that rotation. You see that? Already feels better. In fact, let's try another click down, 47.6.
21.075.
Be patient on the throttle, wait till you straighten out. Let's try that higher line.
21.023.
Carry some speed, turn yourself down for an exit, and you see I'm gaining all of that time back. Straighter exit can get on the power a little earlier and a little more aggressively. And that's on pace to do, see that's immediately 2/10 faster, nearly 3 in fact. So, but I really recommend saving that for late in the run, perhaps 30 laps later on, 30 laps plus, as when by that point the right front is worn, the lap fall off hopefully is stopped, and you can use that as
21.197.
in a race situation. I don't know because I haven't seen that line run for 87s. I picked up that line from one of the guys that's stupid fast in XRX. And I just thought, okay, 87s and SRX drive somewhat similar in pace and behavior, and it just so happens to work for 87s as well. But I really recommend saving that for just late run when the right front is worn, people are having trouble getting the rotation. Whereas if you're really good saving that right front, you can keep your rotation, turn on down, and get on the power where they can't.
21.135.
Get turned on down, and then just get back on the power. Be patient though. You get back on it too aggressively, you're going to slide, and it's very, very tough to recover a spin as you don't have a lot of time to recover. And you see that? That's almost 2/10 faster.
20.952.
I really recommend doing this only in late run, because early on people have the new tires, they can dive in hard, get their rotation still, and that's leaving you very open to lose positions early on.
20.954.
And you see that lower line, get that time because I'm turning in early, but I lose that time on the back straight.
.993.
Just to kind of show what happens if you're on the throttle too aggressive. So you get that slide. And you got to lift off, you gave up that time, people are going to cut to your left and try to take that position in the next turn.
21.154.
So kind of, if you're running exclusively low line, your lap times should fall off. Your fall off should stop somewhere in the 21.0 range. See that 21.03.
21.033.
Hit that curb. You don't want to do that, of course. And just really quick on pit stop situations.
21.045.
It's heavily debatable. Fuel is certainly not a concern. This is a 100 lap race. Full tank, you should easily be able to do 160 laps, maybe even 175. So if this were a 200 lap race, then yeah, you've got some fuel concerns. So this is only going to be a tire strategy race. Now, if this goes full green, keep it full green. Don't do a green flag pit stop if it goes full green. Stop for 2 tires even, you're going to lose at least a lap, probably even 2. If you take 4 tires, you could probably bump that up to losing nearly 3 laps, and you will not recover that, trust me.
21.2.
Now, in the case of yellows, 4 tires versus 2 tires, it's debatable because you've got to think track position as well. What lap are we on? Come on, 56. So this is, I'll assume it was lap 10 when we started our mock race run, so we're probably coming up on 50 laps run here. And if it goes green, the laps click off fast. See a little bit loose there. So it just kind of depends on where you are, how many laps are left.
21.111.
We're looking at a fall off of just hardly over a second. So I would really say if there's yellows after lap 60, just, I don't know. And I mean that simply honest because there's not one right answer for every scenario. I would say if you want to pit and take your 4 tires, do it on a yellow before lap 50, because if they keep on wrecking, your tires are going to keep cooling off, you'll keep that speed, and you really won't have to worry about it. Perhaps later on a 2 tire stop is debatable, is possible. And this is also relative on where you are to the leader. If say you're 15th or 20th, 2 tires is probably your only option. You try 4 tires, you're likely you could go a lap down by the time your pit stop is done.
21.21.
So you just rhythm. Find your rhythm, do your best to stay in it. Let's just do another low line versus high line comparison.
21.08.
So 21.08, we're going to do the high line next time round. That felt even faster. I got on the throttle too soon though. Brake coming up to that orange sign. That's actually very loose. Okay, I really threw that one away. See, that's braking too late. Still pick up that time a little bit. we'll just do it again, 20.9 for the low line.
21.0.
So still perhaps brake a little bit earlier. You just got to feel out what's comfy. Get your cut down, you can get on the throttle. I'm starting even to feel a little loose on entry.
.942.
So it may perhaps equalize low line versus high line later on in the race, just depending on your confidence, where you are in position. There's several situations you could apply that for.
21.028.
Let me shut up here and focus so I can get a proper run at this.
.97.
See, that is pretty well equalized now. I may have just worn out the right front too much. So that now makes me wonder, is it better to use that line for early run?
.21.031. .21.101.
See, that is loose. That is loose. That's too high up on the brakes. Thank the wall for saving us there. So we'll go ahead and end that practice run right there. See, so 47.6. I would perhaps just 49.2 at the lowest is the lowest I will likely go. Let's go ahead and take a look at these tires. 87, 88, so still fairly even. I just wound up putting some more heat in the tires. So of course, as always, keep your tire heat down. Don't push too hard. This is very much a rhythm racetrack, a rhythm kind of track position type of race. You find your spot where you're going to settle in and just wait for mistakes to happen ahead of you, and you take advantage of those. So absolutely, your qualifying is going to be important for this coming week. It could be a bit of yellow fest. It could go full green, and when it does, North Wilkesboro is a very, very fun track in my opinion. Don't shy away from this place, people. It is very, very fun. So just let's get 87, 88 left sides. Really may not matter. So lap 12. We started at a 20.1, got even down to a 20.07. You could probably go faster than that, but just with how many laps you want to pace yourself. So we did blah, 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 just shy of 60 laps, and we are still clocking 20.0, even 20.9 we managed to kind of hit those points as best as possible for the tire wear we've still got. So I definitely hope that this is helpful to you guys. Very fun track. Do not shy away from North Wilkesboro. It can be very, very fun when it's a group of people that know how to race hard, but also respectfully. So and then also just be aware of the wildly different braking points. Be aware of track position under yellows. Sure, if you're the leader, you want the 4 tires, but then you come out still P8 with 20 laps to go. I've done that before, and the leader stayed out, and I couldn't catch him. I had lost that kind of tire advantage with also overdriving a little bit. So it all very, very depends on your situation. There's not one correct answer for any situation. It just depends on what's going on, who's around you, and kind of also your own confidence in your driving ability. So again, thank you guys for watching. How long is this? Okay, just under a half hour. So still kind of learning on proper video lengths. I was thinking, okay, just a 40 lap run, but these are quick laps. So just let me know on the video length, kind of. Would you like to see a few more laps? Okay, maybe a little bit less laps because this is a long video to go through, but this is also a lot to go through. You can't really grasp. I can't really demonstrate a full amount of tire wear and tire fall off and handling changes in just say 20 laps. You really want you want at least a half fuel run, if even perhaps a full fuel run, but that will of course take a very long time. So just let me know, guys. The feedback is much appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I really hope this is helpful for this coming week. And be sure to utilize Alliance Return 1. Find what's comfy for you. I myself prefer kind of a middle entry, low exit, high entry even, low but straighter exit, and even that low diamond line, which I can't make work for myself. So just play around with it. 3 and 4, I would say, is the only one locked in where you want to be on the low line, kind of almost Martinsville style. So thanks again for watching, guys. Take care, and see you in hopefully 87's officials this coming week. Take care, guys.